Hey, so today is gonna be, or this video is gonna be a lot different from my other videos that I usually make, which is like if you're like the 5 subscribers that I have, like you guys know that I mainly just put a lot of music stuff on there. But I just thought I'd want to give my opinion on what's been happening between KSI and Deji, because I'm a huge fan of them both. And it's upsetting to me, like, what's been going on with this whole beef and everything. And, like, I know, like, people are tired of hearing about it, but, like, I just feel like I want to put my thoughts out there. Like, I feel like I want to do that because they're both entertain me and uh, they're both funny and they both make me feel really good after watching their videos because I get very entertained and everything. People can argue they might not be a fan, whatever, but that's just me, and I thought I'd want to talk about this and what's been going on. Obviously, Deji said this too in like I think both of his videos that I'll be talking about how like we don't know the full story, and he's right about that. I think maybe KSI has even said that in his video as well, but I don't really remember. I did take notes, so I'm gonna go over those. Um, but yeah, so if I didn't say it already, I'm gonna say it again. Like, I'm a huge fan of both, so I'm not trying to lean towards one over the other, but yeah, we're gonna start with the beginning, which is Deji's first video, KSI's response, Deji's diss track, and then Deji's second video, and then my thoughts. And my thoughts like include like other people, like other drama channels or whatever, like commentary channels talking about what's been going on as well, and like the comments they've been making about KSI's like deleting his apology video because he did delete it. And I have some things to say about what my thing is. Um, so yeah, let's get into it. So we'll start with Deji's first video, which is called My Brother KSI. So he starts off the video talking about how I guess people have been asking him what's been going on with him and KSI, so he's been wanting to answer people what's been going on. And he started saying that his brother has been putting his friends first before his family, and that his priorities wasn't straight because he blocked him on social media. And he started to talk about how minuscule it was because he was like, oh, he thinks it's the bank statement, but it's so much more than the bank statement, which I'll get to in the second, like, KSI's video. I mean, he's right, it was more than the bank statement, but, um, yeah, so he was just going off on how much he didn't support him and how he's trying to ruin his credibility because with the diss tracks that's been going on between him and Randolph and all the sidemen people who've been reacting to these videos he's been thinking that they've been going against him, because if you've seen any of those reaction videos, you would know that a lot of them were like, oh yeah, that's true about Deji, blah blah blah. Deji didn't like that was happening, and I guess he thought like everybody was against him, including his brother, because he's been thinking that his brother has been giving out information to Randolph. to put in his diss track. And yeah, it's just a whole mess. And he goes on to talk about how KSI can be close with his parents if he wanted to, but he chooses not to. And he doesn't like that his brother is close to his family. He doesn't even want his brother to be there. He said that he's called their parents to say that he's hated Deji, which, if that's true, that is out of line. But I'll get to that in the second video about like what KSI's response was to that, because he did answer that one. He did answer to that statement. And he said something that, like, I don't know, it emotionally hit me, like, wow, that sucks to ever hear those words. If you don't want to be brothers anymore, I'm cool with that. I don't want to be your brother. You're an asshole. Like, I don't know about you, but I felt the hurt, the anger. And then he went on to say that he would take a bullet for his brother, and that he mentioned that KSI had said that they needed counseling because they're a broken family. And he was just going on a rant about how stupid he is, and he's the one with the problems. He's the one that needs to work on stuff. And when I saw this, like, I was just thinking maybe it's a misunderstanding. Like, there's no way, like, KSI is, like, trying to ruin his brother. It's his brother, you know? Yeah, he, like, does some shitty things to him sometimes. Like I said, I'm a fan of them. I'm not gonna lie when I say that, yeah, I'm not gonna deny the fact that I see that. I don't know why KSI does that, but he beats the shit out of his brother and all that stuff on camera. Like, what is that? I don't know. But I just usually just assume that it has some kind of weird, twisted brotherly love behind it, because I have a brother. But obviously I'm a girl, like, I don't know. I could be wrong, but it depends on, like, the relationship that it's, I'm his sister. And we don't roughhouse because people don't really. I mean, I'm sure people roughhouse with their sisters, but it's a lot. I don't know how to explain it, but with brothers, I see, like, it's a lot more rough. Not obviously not saying that girls can't be rough, but usually that's the case when it's like two boys that are siblings versus like one girl and one boy, or two girls, or what. Like, it's just different. Like, people fight, brothers fight a lot harder than any other combinations. I don't even know if I made sense there, but I would sure you would get what I'm saying. I knew KSI had to have, like, sorry, I was cleaning my camera. KSI had to have a response to this, because I was like, there's no way he's going to just let Deji say these things. At least, the least he could do is clarify what's going on. Like, why is he saying these things? And sure enough, I was right. Like, the next day, like, KSI responded to what his brother had to say, and yeah, it was just, I was nervous to watch that, because I was like, what is he gonna be pissed? Is he gonna disown his brother? Is that's what's gonna happen? But no, like, I opened up the video, just like I felt in the first one with Deji's first video about the anger and the hurt. Like, I could feel that. I felt like the emotion of KSI's sadness, like, in me. Like, it was, I don't know. And a lot of channels have been saying, like, this beef must be fake or whatever. I don't think it's fake. And they've been saying it over and over again. And yeah, I don't. They both have been saying, it's like, well, I don't know why you would think that I would want to, like, pretend to have beef with my brother for views. Like, that's fucked up. And I agree. Like, They've done a lot of fucked shit, but I personally think that it's real, and yeah, it's fucked. But that being said, I just mentioned KSI's response, so we'll talk about that. So he starts off with telling Deji that he will always love him, and mentioning that brothers fight, brothers say things they don't mean, which is true. It's not even just with brothers, like it's with family, with friends even, like people say things they don't mean when they're angry with the ones that they love. And I guess he was referring to what Deji said earlier about how he actually called his parents on the phone. I forgot to mention that he called his parents on the phone to say that he hated Deji. Which is fucked up, if that did happen, but he did admit that he shouldn't, or, well, I guess that's what he's referring to when he says brothers say things they don't mean. Because I don't know what else he would be talking about, because that's like the only thing out of the whole rant video that Deji was talking about that he could have possibly addressed. And we're gonna get to this with the diss track, because I was very upset at the diss track. Like, I love Deji and I support him, but when I saw the diss track, I was just, I don't know. And we'll get to that, because he doesn't want his private matters to be public. And he's talks about this throughout the whole, like, not the whole video, but he emphasizes this so much in the video. And then he addresses what Deji said in the first one about ruining his credibility and stuff like that. And that he never told Randolph anything. Like, he was trying to keep neutral the entire time. He said that in his reaction video to Randolph to KSI. I believe he was reacting to Randolph's video, and he's been saying like he wants to keep it neutral. I think he's also said it on his reaction to like Deji's diss track. I can't really remember, but he's been saying that the whole time, and I think he's tried his best to. And I don't know. And he was talking about, and one example is the sparring footage. He admitted to that. He said that he sent in the sparring footage to Randolph, but it wasn't to expose him. It wasn't for the diss track. He always sends footage of him sparring to Randolph because they're friends. You know, when you're doing stuff and you want to show your friends, like you send them a video or whatever. Like, I'm a music major. I like to perform. Sometimes I like to show people, like, a song I've written or whatever. I'll be like, what do you think of this or whatever? Like, I like to show them what I do, right? It's like a normal thing that friends do, depending on like what it is your talent is, and you videotape it. Like, you like showing your friends. And maybe you're not that kind of person. Not everybody is, but for the majority of the time, like, it's a normal thing. Like, and he tried to say, it's like, if anything, that footage showed how hard y'all were working. And yes, it was the footage that when Deji, I keep saying KSI, when Deji was just learning how to. So yeah, if you've guys seen how he looked in the beginning, like, it wasn't, but I mean, if people want to make fun of him for not knowing how to box right off the bat, like, you can't sit there and tell me, like, oh, if you were to learn something new, you'd get it off the bat like that. That's not how it works. So if people want to make fun of Deji for that, like, It's stupid because it's like he was barely learning, like, what were you, I don't know. You'd, it's whatever. But I don't know, I just thought it was weird. It was stupid that people would make fun of him for that. It's like, oh, and if, do you know something about sparring? If not, you think if you tried it for the first time, you'd get it off the bat? I'd like to see you try. I don't know. It's not me being like a fan trying to defend him, like, oh my god, like, who the fuck are you? But it's like, it's just stupid to make fun of someone for that reason. Like, everybody starts off like crappy when they don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I went off on a little tangent there, a little rant, because it's just dumb. Like, you're not a fan of theirs, that's fine. You hate them even, I don't care. But it's like, don't start saying stupid things because that's how spiteful you are of them. Like, I'm not trying to say you should be friendly to them either. Again, that's not realistic either. Like, I get it. If you're like, really can't stand someone, you really can't stand them. But don't put logic out of the window all of a sudden because you hate that person that much. Like, come on. But yeah, and then he went on to talk about supporting Deji. And he just keeps pleading. He's like, I just wish you would talk to me. Oh, and he talked about the distance thing. I'm gonna try to put like links of all the videos down below. Because I know I'm not explaining this very well. I'm trying to explain it the best of my ability. But he keeps pleading with them to talk to him, and then he talked about the distance. Because again, like I previously mentioned in the last video, is that he kept saying it's like he could be close to our parents too if he wanted to, but like he doesn't choose to. And he admitted to that. He has admitted that he's been distant lately, but he's been trying. He wanted to visit the family, but they're far away, and I totally get that because it's like travels are expensive. And that shit's not cheap. They're in England, man. And like I don't know how much it costs to go to England. I haven't gone to England since I was a kid, and that was a long time ago. That was before my brother was born. Of course, I'm not gonna remember that stuff. All I got is like the memories of pictures and stuff, and I was sleeping majority of the time. I'd like to go there again to really appreciate it more now that I'm older and I'm old enough to appreciate it more. That being said, like, I'm Indian, and so I have relatives in India, so they might even be the same cost, I don't know, but like that's across the world. Europe is across like they're both take a really long time, and I don't know. But yeah, dude, I don't know. And so visiting India takes a long time. Um, it's I keep going off because like there's a million things going on in my head what I can say about this. I'm sorry if I keep going off the thing, or if you even care. If you don't care, like don't click on this video, don't watch it, like whatever. And if you want to send hate, go ahead and send hate. I don't know. I just need to talk about this because I do like them, and it's like heartbreaking to me. Like I like their whole family. I'm I'm even like the whole thing with Tank, the whole Tank situation. He hasn't like updated us on that. I'm really hoping that they can get their dog back. Like that shit's not right, of what he's saying about the cops taking their like Tank away from them to make him a police dog, and they did not say that was okay. I don't know. I'm really hoping for the best, and I hope they get Tank back. Like, but anyways, such an adorable dog. But he talks about, he admits that he's distant from his family. He admits he has been trying really hard. And he went on to talk about there are things that he will back him up on. But there's some things that he can't. And if he was going to try to like take his side no matter what, he'd just be delusional. And I can see that. And I pretty much thought that anyways. That's why. Because, like, even. Okay, I love Deji, and some things he does are questionable. Like, the thing that he did at the Streaming Awards, like, I'm a fan of yours, but like, you wanted to pull a Steve Harvey, and then fucking. Look, I would understand why you're pissed that the whole live stream, like, they put that out for free, like Twitch, whatever. Like, anybody would be mad because it's like, you know, did not give you the permission, did not say it was okay, just giving it off for free. But that's like a private thing that you should do. You shouldn't make it like a, because that just makes you look like such an asswipe. And it's like, dude, you realize you're just making yourself look like trash. I don't know, by doing that, like acting like that, like ugh, like it was so cringy. Like, jeez, man, just present the freaking award. Don't be so dramatic about it. Like, I don't know. And then he addressed the family and like putting friends first before family, and he talked about how that wasn't true, and I believe that. You know, I think what's happening is that Deji is so pissed at his brother that, and this is something anybody does when they're angry with someone, they don't even want to hear what they have to say. They're so angry. Even if they do, like, it's just gonna go over their head because they're too busy, just too pissed at them. They want to think that everything is just full of shit, everything that comes out of their mouth when they're trying to reason. So, but he's saying that's not true. A lot of his friends are like family. But he's always put family first, you know? And I mean, I guess that's all I can say about that, really. I mean, that was a short explanation about that. Well, not really. He gets into more detail about that, but I just don't feel like going anymore. We're just giving off the bases. Again, I'm going to try to put them linked so you can see them yourself and get a better understanding, I guess. Then he goes on to talk about the blocked thing. And in the first video, Deji was saying he was blocking him over diss tracks, right? The whole Randolph situation. And it's how pathetic that is, that he's mad at him over diss tracks. Yeah. Trying to stretch out my legs, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sitting on the floor. There you go. Fuck, man. I'm sorry. This is a fucking distraction. But yeah, he was thinking that KSI was blocking him over stupid things like the diss tracks and the bank statement. So he was right about the bank statement, but over the diss tracks, like, he tried to keep neutral. Like I said before, earlier in the video, he said that. But the reasons why, besides the bank statement, was because he when Deji was reacting to his diss track with one of the guys that is in Deji's diss track, which I forgot which one, but when one of the guys mentioned that he was hiding, oh, it was Quedeca. Oh, but Quedeca's not in his video, I don't think. No, Quedeca's not in his video. When Quedeca made that comment about, in his diss track, about how KSI was hiding his girlfriend, Deji said, that's true. And KSI didn't like that. And now it would make someone mad, especially like when you're a public figure and then people are like, wait, what? Like, he said that it was true? Like, I'm gonna go and we're gonna like ask him about that. Cause he just put it out there, so now he has to like explain to himself. It's like, I'm hiding his girlfriend. And oh, I don't know if it was one girl pregnant or he's gotten girls pregnant, whichever one, that's really bad. Which I also, when I heard, this was actually another, oh yeah, this was when Randolph was doing his diss track against Deji about how he got girls pregnant. So he was saying Deji got girls pregnant in his diss track, and Deji was like, that's not true. I've never gotten a girl pregnant, right? I believe he should have stopped it right there. He didn't need to say any more. He could have just ended it there. He didn't need to bring his brother into it. He really didn't. So I would agree with KSI on this one. Is you didn't need to be like the only person that, he could have just ended it there. It's fine. Like, it's fine. This is against you. This diss track against you. You're the one who's trying to react to it and confirm shit about you, whether or not he's lying about it or if you should own up to it. Don't bring your brother into that shit. What does he do? Instead of stopping it right there, he says, I've never gotten a girl pregnant, but you know who has? My brother, JJ, or KSI, whatever, like however he addressed him, but he said that. And I just remember thinking when I saw it, I was like, wait, what the fuck? Which anybody would, they'd be like, whoa, hold up. Like, KSI got a girl, that was not necessary. Because, yeah, like everybody else, I would be like, wait, what the fuck? And then he's just gonna continue watching the video, like he didn't just spill some motherfucking tea. Like, what the fuck? But I was just thinking after, I was like, how can you, and because knowing KSI, like, I don't know him, but you know what I mean, like, being sub to him for a long time, like, you observe things about the person you're sub to for a long time. I was like, yeah, you pissed him off. You really pissed him off. Like, he's pissed now. If he sees this, he's gonna be like, what the fuck, Deji? Like, you just told people. That wasn't necessary. And I agree, like, that's pretty. And he's addressed that he's been talking about this to Deji so many times, not to do this, not to mention private matters, which I believe that people can't make this argument like, oh, he's a public figure, like, he has to be prepared for all his shit to be out there. There's a certain point where that I feel like that's still not okay. You wanna go, Deji, you wanna go and you wanna fucking spill some tea about yourself and be like, whatever, I wanna be truthful with you guys, whatever. But if your brother didn't give you the permission to go and spill his fucking tea to people, don't fucking do that shit. And if what your brother is saying is true and you just kind of just didn't give a shit after he's told you many times and you still do it because you think it's not a big deal, it is a fucking big deal. That is out of line. Including, I also agree with the bank statement thing too, because I mean, that should be self-explanatory. No one would feel okay about that, about their bank statement being, like, out to the public. Like, what? I and that's another thing too, like every time Deji like mentions like, oh, he's mad about the bank statement or whatever, he talks about that briefly by just saying that, and then he moves on to the next thing, and he just rants about his brother. But I really want to. It's like, what are your thoughts about that though? Your brother saying he blocked you for that reason, and the girlfriend thing, and the pregnancy thing, and like you're not addressing, or at least like you acknowledge it, but you're not saying I admit that that was wrong, or I don't think it's a big deal. Like, I have no idea what your thoughts are on that, and that's fine. You don't want to tell us, but like, that's just it. I don't know what that makes me feel. I'm like, are you just not gonna. You're gonna say all these things, and then, like, when it comes to people, like, asking questions, you're not gonna fucking answer. Are you like backpedaling or something, and you're just like, oh no, I'm not gonna say anymore that I have, even though it's kind of too late already? And dude, like, maybe it slipped, because I do that too sometimes, and I'm like, fuck. But that's when you're like, okay, yeah, I admit I fucked up, like, I wasn't supposed to, I'll never do that again, I'll promise I'll try my best. You just kind of mention something that you did that your brother talked about, and that's it. Like, you're just like, oh yeah, he said this, and then you move on to ranting about him. Or just like, yeah, what are your thoughts about that? Like, what the fuck? Like, you're just saying that, oh, it's minuscule, that's a minuscule thing as to why he, like, no, Dej, but like, do you, what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like it wasn't a big deal, or do you admit that you're like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that? Like, come on, dude. Like, what the fuck? Um, and I know KSI, like he said in his response video, that he doesn't want people to have opinions. But hun, it's out there, and honestly, like I want to, like, it's out there. So, and people are like whatever. But now about the diss track. I mean, I don't have much to say about the diss track. The only thing that really bothered me was the four verses had a thing in common. If you can't guess what that is, it's it goes back to one of the reasons why fucking KSI blocked his brother in the first place. At least explained from KSI why he blocked his brother in the first place. It was over the pregnancy. And Deji once again mentioned that in his diss track, and was like,